CBS 46 News at 11 starts now.
The night team watching the radar this Thursday night. A big line of storms moving across the state border right now. We begin with the weather alert tonight. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Sharon Reed.
And I'm Ben Swan. Let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Jim Kosek with what we can expect for the rest of tonight. Jim.
Overall weakening storms, but still rude awakening if you're trying to nod off over the next half hour here. The biggest threat will be some wind gusts, 40 to 50 miles per hour. Could be pea-sized hail in a couple of storms, but I'm leaning away from that. The damage would be minimal, if anything, but there's two key areas here. One dropping southbound, this little line right here, that's over the southern part of Polk County, and another one coming east from Alabama. As the two converge over Haralson County right here, this is the area that's getting hit the hardest right now. That could extend into the northeast corner of Carroll County and maybe a small part of Paulding County before it all weakens. The end result, all the storms will weaken as they come inside the perimeter. I'll have the timing coming up in just a little bit and what you could expect as you wake up tomorrow morning, Sharon.
Right now, CBS 46 is on top of the story that has the nation talking tonight. George Zimmerman caught in a controversy surrounding a gun once again. The new ordeal involves a Metro Atlanta-based company, and years after he was acquitted in the shooting death of Trayvon Martin. Today, we learn Zimmerman is selling the weapon he used to kill the teenager online.
He's auctioning it off. In fact, the auction site involved, based in Kennesaw. The night team's Julian Johnson is there tonight with reaction from the company and from the Martin family attorney.
Today we've learned the gun George Zimmerman used to shoot and kill Trayvon Martin, he tried to sell online, and that online business is based right here out of this office in Kennesaw. Now the business says they've already pulled that listing, but the Martin family is still very upset about this.
This is still their child, and it's intensely personal and painful to them.
The attorney for Trayvon Martin's family, Benjamin Crump, spoke briefly at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. Crump represented the family during the 2013 trial of George Zimmerman, the man accused of killing the 17-year-old. Zimmerman was ultimately acquitted of charges claiming self-defense.
They won't comment on the killer of their child and his attempts to profit off of the loss of their child.
But today, Crump says the Martin family had to again go through pain after learning of Zimmerman's attempts to sell the gun he used to shoot the teen. He posted the listing to a website and started the bidding at $5,000. He described the gun as an American firearm icon and a piece of American history. Zimmerman talked with Florida TV station WOFL over the phone.
What I've decided to do is not cower. I'm a free American. I can do what I'd like with my possessions.
We learned the site Zimmerman posted to, gunbroker.com, is a Kennesaw-based company. They didn't speak on camera, but they did issue a statement saying, in part, we want no part in the listing on our website. Now, although the listing for the gun is no longer on gunbroker.com, we've learned that it's on another site with United Gun Group. That company is based out of Kansas City. We're in Kennesaw tonight. Julian Johnson, CBS 46 News Night Team.
New at 11, investigators are trying to determine how a car ended up in Lake Allatoona. Take a look. Georgia State Patrol said the accident happened near Tanyard Creek Road and Lake Allatoona in Bartow County. Crews rescued everyone inside of this car. The night team also learning more about a crash south of the city that left a couple of people seeing stars. The Good Samaritans who came to the aid of the victims, no stranger to fans of a popular TV show. That story in just 5 minutes.
But right now, DeKalb County fire investigators trying to figure out what started a massive fire. Chopper 46 in the skies over Chamblee as this fire ripped through the building, housing 3 auto repair shops this morning. Firefighters inside, they were able to get out shortly before part of that building collapsed. One firefighter did bruise his shoulder, but nobody else was hurt. New at 11, some parents in Fannin County, they are outraged over the school district's proposed restroom policy. It would allow transgender students to choose the restrooms according to the gender they identify with and not the one on their birth certificate. The school board held a meeting tonight, and while the controversial issue was not on the agenda, it was certainly mentioned. Some parents have threatened to pull their kids out of the school district if those unisex bathrooms are permitted. The school board says it will explore options over the summer.
A high school basketball coach accused of sleeping with an underage cheerleader is in jail tonight. Zach Swansea lost his job at West Hall High School after his alleged relationship with a 17-year-old girl was revealed. Today, the Hall County Sheriff announced this is now a criminal case. Swansea is a former UGA basketball player. He graduated in 2011. He was due in court this afternoon, but he waived his first court appearance. An update tonight on the young woman badly injured in a car accident that killed 4 other University of Georgia students. Agnes Kim has been moved to a rehab center. The 21-year-old from Snellville is recovering from a brain injury. Kim is now being treated, we've learned, at the Shepherd Center in Atlanta. Police say she was driving on a road in Oconee County when she lost control and crashed into another car. Police say neither speed, drugs, or alcohol were a factor in the crash.
Well, new tonight, we are hearing from witnesses after a woman finds a man hiding inside her SUV in a store parking lot. It happened while that woman was shopping at the TJ Maxx store near the Mall of Georgia in Beaufort. She says she got into the driver's seat. She looked in the rearview mirror. She saw that man looking at her from the back seat. The victim says her doors were locked, but her sunroof was open. Witnesses described that scary ordeal.
The rearview mirror had been, when he got in, he must have kicked it. So it was folded down. I mean, it was, you know, what it would normally would be, and that's how she saw him, is because it was aimed straight down and he was right there. I mean, his face, he was right behind her seat. And by the grace of God, that mirror was in the position it was. If not, she may not have seen him.
Well, police eventually tracked down 25-year-old Anthony Floor. He faces several charges tonight. He's at the Gwinnett County Jail.
New tonight, ICE agents are being accused of using illegal tactics to deport illegal immigrants. Now, we are getting a first look at the video sparking this controversy in Metro Atlanta. The night team's Christian De La Rosa has the story from Fulton County.
This is cell phone video shot by the Anzuras family from inside their East Point home.
And they were supposedly looking for Mario Brown.
Dulce Anzura says the men outside were ICE agents, but they identified themselves as police.
Wait, come to the door.
I thought they were going to knock down the door, honestly.
Can you open the door? No,
why?
Can you turn that off, please?
Family members kept recording on their phones until the officers went away.
If they were doing nothing wrong, they wouldn't want us to turn off the phone.
I want ICE to do their job to get rid of dangerous people, but I want them to follow the Constitution to do it.
Immigration attorney Charles Cook believes the video shows ICE agents using deceptive practices to get inside a home without a warrant.
And that is illegal to do that.
I reached out to U.S. Customs and Border Enforcement officials right here in downtown Atlanta to have them comment on the video, but they refused to answer my questions. They instead sent us this statement saying, quote, "We don't discuss specific law enforcement tactics and techniques except to say it was conducted in full accordance with federal law and agency policy." Now, conservative groups and legal immigration activists here in Atlanta have come out in defense, supporting ICE agents doing their job, even if it takes deceptive practices. In Fulton County, I'm Christian De La Rosa, CBS 46 News 19.
Developing tonight on the campaign trail, Speaker of the House Paul Ryan sounding optimistic about uniting the GOP after meeting with presumptive nominee Donald Trump.
This is our first meeting. I was very encouraged with this meeting, but this is a process. It takes a little time. You don't put it together in 45 minutes.
RNC Chairman Ryan Priebus brokered today's meeting with Trump and Ryan at the Republican National Committee headquarters in D.C. Topics on their agenda included the budget, Medicare, and Social Security. Trump tweeted, "It was a great day, but Ryan still has not officially endorsed him." Trump also met with GOP House and Senate leaders. Ben?
Well, new tonight, the prepaid debit card Rush Card will pay out $19 million to users impacted by last year's outage. The company, owned by hip-hop mogul Russell Simmons, will pay at least $100 to each user who could not access their funds. Last year, a technical glitch blocked tens of thousands of Rush Card customers from accessing their money for as long as 2 weeks. But now to a story you'll see only on CBS 46. We talked to the man behind a picture that is going viral. Look closely, and you're going to see 2 TV actors at the scene of an accident today in Fayette County. This was no movie set. Stephen Yun and Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead, they were spotted in Peachtree City.
Yeah, they jumped in to help the victims of a 3-car crash. The night team's Adam Hardy now with how witnesses say the pair pitched in.
Glenn was standing by.
Michael Turan showing us the photo he says he took Thursday of the Walking Dead stars helping out after a car accident in Peachtree City. Look closely. That's Norman Reedus alongside Stephen Yun.
It took me, about 5-10 seconds to take these pictures. And then the cops came. It looked like, he was trying to, help everybody, kind of calm everybody, take over the situation.
The stars filmed the show here in Metro Atlanta. Witnesses say the two stayed on scene for several minutes after the crash. Witnesses say this is where the accident happened earlier today, right here on Line Creek Drive. We've heard a number of complaints from a lot of drivers. They say this is a particularly dangerous intersection. And Thursday's wreck was so powerful, it took down this street sign.
This is a kind of a weird intersection, and nobody's really used to it, so I just think they got confused.
Ben Wilkie heard the collision.
It was loud enough to get everybody's attention.
He rushed outside, snapping these photos. That's The Walking Dead's Daryl from behind, right next to his motorcycle.
Looked out, seen a bad accident, and seen two motorcycles stop. I said, that kind of like Norman Reedus, and somebody else coming in and said, yeah, it's him.
Police confirmed the two stars were not involved in the crash. They were just witnesses. There are no reports tonight of any serious injuries.
I mean, it's great to see them helping out and making sure everybody is on the same page.
In Peachtree City, I'm Adam Harding. CBS 46 News, 19.
I mean, they are actors. They get extensive training on the set, various situations. You have to wonder, did any of that play into it?
Yeah, you got to wonder that and wonder whether TMZ is going to have this up in the next 30 minutes or not. We had it first.
That's right.
Well, have you heard of the textilizer?
Soon, it could be the one thing that finally convinces drivers to put their cell phones down and focus on the road. We're back in 60 seconds. The night team going inside America's opioid epidemic tonight. We're looking at a troubling link between the growing crisis and patients' happiness. CBS 46 Investigates talked to Georgia physicians. They are in a constant struggle.
It is a battle between sticking to the rules and holding to their own codes of ethics. Sally Sears has a story you'll see only on CBS 46.
Opioid prescriptions are skyrocketing. So are overdose deaths. Doctors are telling each other to think about it. A Georgia Medical Association program promoting caution in prescriptions for pain. But hospitals get reimbursed in part by a new Medicaid-Medicare required survey asking patients how satisfied they are. One of the 32 questions on the survey goes like this: how often did the hospital staff do everything they could to help you with your pain? Another question: how often was your pain well controlled? If you're shopping emergency rooms to get a doctor to give you what you consider the good stuff, and the doctor refuses, you may be tempted to give the hospital and the doctor a bad rating. Is that fair?
Well, sometimes they get up and walk out. Sometimes they may become very disgruntled in the emergency department. Sometimes they take what we prescribe and come back later. Sometimes they don't come back at all.
Gwinnett Dr. Jay Smith helped to create the cautionary program. He is no fan of the patient surveys with links to reimbursements.
The patient surveys are out there. I personally believe they're flawed, and I don't let them alter my decision.
I told Dr. Smith there's movement in Washington to kick the link between pain and reimbursements. And here's what he said.
That would be wonderful.
Why?
Because it would take away that skewed element that might cause somebody to give a bad review specifically because they came in with a preconceived notion that they should get a narcotic, and when they leave, it causes them to think their entire experience was not a good one.
It might be better for all of us. Sally Sears, CBS 46 Investigates.
Well, noon tonight, dozens of people back on the ground after quite a scare. They were stuck on this roller coaster at Busch Gardens in Tampa. Take a look. It appears an electrical issue caused that ride to stop. 65 people were stranded on the incline. Emergency crews had to actually climb up, take each one of those riders off one at a time. We're told no one had any kind of serious injury.
Texting while driving. It's against the law in Georgia and 45 other states. Now, some lawmakers, they want to go a step further. New York State is considering a law that would tackle texting and driving the same way police test people who are driving under the influence. And as the night team's Tracy Hutchins tells us, the same concept, it could be coming here.
Mild day for today again.
Yes. On I-20 coming in all the way from Alabama.
The string of 80s continues.
It is a dangerous habit, one that some find hard to break. Texting and driving. Just look at the Metro Atlanta drivers we found on our roadways.
I have tried to stop because it is illegal. You can't get tickets, so I do try to be good, but I am guilty of it, yes.
She and others know texting behind the wheel is against the law here in Georgia, just like drinking and driving. And just like a breathalyzer used to determine if you have been drinking and driving, New York State is considering a law to use what's being called a textalyzer. A company called Celebrite already has similar devices like this one that law enforcement uses during investigations. The textalyzer would test your phone to see if you were texting before an accident, giving the officer the ability to extract data from your phone right there at the scene of an accident.
If you don't actually check the phone, how would you know if they're doing it before an accident?
You think it would help prevent some accidents?
I think it would.
Watch how quickly being distracted by a text can lead to an accident in these videos from AAA. The National Safety Council says 1 out of every 4 car accidents in the U.S. is caused by texting and driving, leading to more than 300,000 injuries each year.
If you're texting and driving at 50 miles an hour, it's like being blindfolded and traveling the distance of a football field, and nobody can do that.
Lynn Pagano is the president of the Safe America Foundation. He focuses on safety issues like distracted driving. He says using a device like the textalyzer won't solve the problem of texting and driving, but it could help.
I could see the textalyzer going from New York to Georgia. I do think it's a possible tool. So I wouldn't be surprised if we eventually see it here in Georgia.
On the north side, 75, Georgia 400.
Our phones have so much personal information on them. Handing them over to law enforcement may feel like an invasion of privacy. And that's what worries defense attorneys.
If it's an investigation relating to an accident or some type of misconduct while driving, I find it impossible to believe that that officer won't at least take a look at the cell phone. What text messages have you been sending, receiving? Were you taking pictures while you were driving?
There's still a few wrinkles in there, some slight rain chance.
The company that would make the textalyzer device, Celebrite, tells me under New York's proposed legislation, the device would only reveal phone activity and not the content.
Are we willing to waive our privacy rights to only get it maybe a portion of what they consider to be the problem with distracted driving?
Here in Georgia, the texting and driving law, it is hard to enforce and hard to prove, too. As for New York, it's unclear if that textalyzer law has enough support from lawmakers to pass. But if it does, the governor there is expected to sign it. In Atlanta, Tracy Hutchins, CBS 46 News 19.
Certified Atlanta's most accurate forecast for the second year in a row. Now, CBS 46 Chief Meteorologist Jim Kosek.
Well, the rain and thunderstorms across Metro Atlanta will be tapering off a couple hours after midnight, and before daybreak, we are bone dry. What does that mean? Getting out and about for the morning rush hour, we'll have a gusty wind in the wake of our latest storm system, lowering humidity, but that sun comes back. We only have a few more hours of rain and thunder to go to. If you are a light sleeper, you may want to wait up a little bit after the news here. It's just some rain farther to the north from Bartow and Cherokee counties on northbound, but there is some lightning showing up just off to the southeast of Canton, some showers southeast of Georgia 400 over North Fulton County. Also, once you get over toward the Chamblee area. So just be careful about that. A little bit more in terms of wet weather. And it's also inside the perimeter right now. Once you get just off to the, west on I-20, mind you. We do have a little bit of wet weather coming in through the perimeter right there out toward the road toward Douglasville. Some of the heavier downpours in around Haralson County, the Bremen area, just off to the south of Interstate 20. So we do have some thunder and lightning associated with these storms. But notice the overall trend. This is huge, and the trend is weakening. So in terms of severe weather, I say pretty much bupkis. And behind this storm system, notice all the dry air coming on in. That's why we are going to be dry before that sun comes up at 6:38 in the morning. Futurecast showing everything winding down between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Just a leftover shower by 4 o'clock, and then forget about it. That sun will come out. So the green light is on. And with that dip in the humidity, it's going to feel beautiful outside. Take advantage of it. Now, keep in mind, with the gusty wind and the less heat to contend with, my 3-degree guarantee is 80 degrees. Catch a tube of sunscreen on the way out the door, okay? The wind's going to make it feel cool outside, but you could still get sunburn. I'm going to verify this forecast at 6 p.m. tomorrow. If it verifies, we'll donate another $50 to Girls on the Run of Atlanta. All right, high score 80 degrees over the next couple days. Wind gusts about 20 to 25 miles per hour, gusting into the teens during the course of Sunday. But notice the push of cool air coming on here. This is refreshing, and it continues all the way on in through Monday. So tomorrow, the first of 4 good eggs before the humidity and some summertime afternoon thunderstorms return. That's Tuesday, Wednesday, on into Thursday of next week, guys. So no umbrellas on the way out the door tomorrow, but a little extra hairspray goes a long way, Ben and Sharon.
All right, Jim, thank you. Well, don't forget, folks, all this month you can watch and win with CBS 46.
We're giving away $1,000 a day and a brand new car. Just watch CBS 46 Morning News during our 6 a.m. hour. When you see the code word, enter it at CBS46.com. And on top of $1,000 a day, the grand prize winner, well, gets a 2016 Ford Focus. On the run, the latest bear sighting near a Metro Atlanta school. What's being done to keep kids out of harm's way? Next. Some DeKalb County business owners are tired of trash piling up behind their offices. They also have concerns, they say, about what's being dumped. Take a look. Food, boxes, bags of trash, and furniture. It's just sitting there. Luther Washington even found sensitive patient information from a doctor's office. He says there's so much junk here, trash trucks can't reach the dumpsters.
I have to put my trash on the back of my truck and take it home and put it in a dumpster.
Now, Washington says the county has stepped in to remove trash in the past, but not this time. We've reached out and we'll let you know what we hear. In Gwinnett County, what residents are spotting there is a bit alarming.
The concern is a bear seen near Swanee Elementary School. Police confirm they did get a call about it, but no officer ever spotted that bear. The Department of Natural Resources says this is the time of year that young male bears branch out on their own, looking for territory to claim. Sometimes they'll pass through populated areas while looking for food. Gwinnett schools are doing what they can to make sure that the bears find somewhere else to explore.
We know the bears a lot of times are looking for food, so what we've done is we've banned food on the playground, so no one can bring any food in the area outside, and we've asked our custodial staff to empty the trash cans several times during the day.
It's kind of neat because I like the idea of nature thriving. You have to take extra precautions, of course, with your dogs and your kids and yourself.
Oh, it is certainly a part of nature. The Department of Natural Resources says if you see a bear, stay a safe distance away and don't approach the animal.
He just looked like he was late for class. Mark Richt was back in town talking Miami football in a 35-year-old appearance in a Blue Jeans commercial. You got to see it next in sports.
Now CBS 46 Sports with Fred Khalil.
Last night, the Braves snapped an 11-game home losing streak. Tonight, they had a chance to win their first home series of the year, but the Phillies had other plans. Phil's up 4-0, but they ran into trouble in the 7th. Bases loaded for Gordon Beckham. And Beckham smacks one to the gap. It gets down and rolls, and everybody, come on down. A 3-run double, and the Braves are now down 4-3. Next batter, Jeff Francoeur, a pinch hitter. And Francoeur comes up with a clutch hit. Beckham comes around to score. Game tied. 9th inning now. How about a little defense from Nick Markakis? A great catch to keep the game tied. And we go to extra innings. Top 10, Cameron Rupp with a bases-loaded, bases-clearing double. And the Braves still have not won a series at home. The final score, 10-10, 7-4. The Phillies beat the Braves. Well, guess who's back in Bulldog country? Coach Mark Richt stopped by Atlanta for a Miami Hurricane Club alumni event. Still looks a little strange seeing Mark wearing the U instead of the Georgia G. But when I spoke with him tonight, he seems very happy to be back in Miami and his alma mater.
And I had a couple friends that have visited. You know, people that, you know, when something like that happens, they feel like you're in the tank, you know, and they feel like they got to come help you. And when they came and realized that I really do live in paradise, they didn't feel so bad for me anymore. So it was good for them, but, you know, I've been feeling good for a while.
Speaking of Mark Richt, look what popped up on the internet today. This is an Italian jeans commercial from 1982. You recognize that guy jumping rope? Let's slow it down. It's Mark Richt. Check out the blonde hair, the beach bum look. Mark probably wishes someone hadn't found it right before he was supposed to talk to us, but at least he was a good sport when we asked him about it.
I do vaguely remember. I mean, I had no recollection of it until I watched it, and I realized it was me. And And I was like, well, that was me, so I must have been there. And I was like, I don't think I ever got paid for that gig. I said, I'm going to get my agent on it and see if I could get something with interest.
How about that jumping rope, huh?
Bet you they'd hire him again.
Oh, they might, yeah.
Thanks, Fred. We'll be right back.
All right, so things calming down weather-wise?
They will be. There's nothing in terms of severe weather. The rain and thunderstorms winding down rapidly between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Heavy, intense right along that I-20 corridor, right inside the perimeter for the time being. But when you wake up tomorrow, it is bone dry anytime after about 4 o'clock in the morning. You'll notice the wind. You'll notice the dip in the humidity. You'll notice that it feels a lot cooler outside, even though temperatures are a little bit above average. The average high temperature is 79, will peak at 80 degrees during the height of the afternoon. The wind gusts, by the way, gusting about 25 miles per hour.
80 degrees, sunny, less humidity. It's like a gift, like a birthday
Right?
gift.
Exactly.
Speaking of which,
We're right back here in the morning. It all starts at 4:30 a.m. with Gloria Neal and Bobby Capel.
and let's put up that cake because today is Sharon Reed's birthday. She thought she was going to get out of it, but
happy birthday!
Just like at Applebee's. Happy birthday, Sharon.
Thank
See
you,
you
guys.
later.
Appreciate it so much.
Have a great night. Can't you tell she loves her?
Oh, yeah.